Excuse me, but I don't need to hear what Israel says. Can we center the discussion on international law? And this is not my opinion. There is a commission of inquiry, Amnesty International, Israeli historians. I'm fine with responding to any questions, but I would like the discussion not to be centered about what the government that is led by two leaders who are indicted for war crimes and crimes against humanity. My intention is not to debate whether it's genocide or not. This is past. We have failed to prevent genocide. And it's not just me saying that. The entire human rights community, there is a wall-to-wall consensus that Israel is committing genocide. Israel has just killed around 400 people. And this is the acceleration of not a war, of the genocide that is happening in real time. And it has been happening for the past 16 months. Nearly between 45,000 and 50,000 Palestinians have been killed in Gaza. And as we speak, Israel has ordered the evacuation of the Palestinians in Gaza from the north or from the south, which means that the aggression is going to continue. This is a military strategy aiming to ethnically cleanse what remains of Palestine. And if the Palestinians do not move voluntarily, this is what waits for them.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of The Good Faith Show. I'm your host, Andre, and The Good Faith Show is exclusively on the ATP Network. You can catch the ATP Network on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and Twitter, and I have some shameless plugs for you. Be sure to follow the official ATP Network Twitter account. It's on the bottom on the ticker right there. Our handle for that is at ATP Network 247. And follow the crew that's part of the network. That's all of our handles right there. And also, y'all know the do, like the video. So yeah, you heard her. She is right. Like, yeah, like we know that Israel does not have the right to defend itself. And then on top of that as well, it's like, yeah, Israel, what all of Israel's doing is intentionally, they want to wipe out entire generations of Palestinian people. So yeah, you know, um, I mean it's sad, but hopefully, you know, hopefully something, a wish of something will come to annihilate Israel and the entire apartheid state in Palestine. The Palestinians can get their land back because they are indigenous on their land and they are treated worse than and it's basically a Holocaust 2.0. Like this Netanyahu kind of do look like Hitler. So yeah, that was that. So yeah, man. How y'all guys doing today? I'm doing alright. I ain't all that great, man. Like there's no hope for me. So I told somebody off camera a while ago. I mean, yesterday I said I feel hopeless. So there's no hope for me. So all my haters that's watching this, you might get your wish. All the motherfuckers that talk about me behind my back, you know, just say all kinds of shit, unnecessary shit about me. Like you got your wish, cause I feel hopeless. So that's just how I feel, man. I try to be happy. I'm happy for Liz because she's raising money to move to Ohio. Like Liz will, fortunately, hopefully, seek happiness there, and I'm happy for Travis, the other member of ACP Network, because his Liz is his that's his partner. They need to see each other. Like life is short. That's why I'm pushing hard to get this fundraiser. You know, get money raised. I mean, and it's hard. It's hard. It's hard getting money for people that's already broke. But that's why I always say retweet, donate. You know what I mean? Like it's just that simple. And you got these either simpletons or these ignorant ass people on Twitter that just like to start shit. I mean, like if you don't agree with what we doing or you don't like what we doing, just ignore it. I mean, you ain't got to get your point across. Like I just don't understand human nature. Like, and they'll call me the slow one, and I'm autistic and I know how to fucking conduct stuff like an adult. Like, come on, man. man, like Twitter, man, me and Twitter might not be lasting long anymore. Like if it wasn't for me doing this network, I wouldn't even be on Twitter, man. Like Twitter just a toxic cesspool, man. The suppression, the shadow banning, Nazi accounts getting away with saying anything out of the sun. Like, because if I say something about Elon, I get shadow banned. Like I can't even talk about Elon on Twitter no more, even though he's technically sold it, which what whatever. But that's why y'all need to follow me on Blue Sky. Like sometimes I be ripping Elon to an asshole on there. Like that's the only place I can do it. So yeah, man, it's kind of a little rant. I just got off my chest. But so what we talking about today is Trump paused the tariffs. China ain't taking no shit. China is stopping sending their resources to the U.S. Um, then Al Sharpton, oh God, DEI, man, like the use of DEI in Democrats. I'm talking about that. A Mondoese news story about Israel target a random person. I mean, not a random person. My bad. I'm sorry. A Palestinian claiming they're Hamas when they're not Hamas, and the Carmelo Anthony situation. So, oh yeah, and yeah. So, it's a lot to talk about. So yeah. Let me get right to it. All right, guys. So, I saw this on Instagram earlier today, and yeah, like, see, this is what happens um, when Trump. It happened when you hire people that don't know what in the hell they doing. This is what happens, man. Like, it just like this exchange is wild. But I'm finna play it here for you guys.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago.
So did you know that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions.
So the trade representative hasn't spoken to the President of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've just been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet? WTF? Who's in charge?
The President of the United States.
That man crazy. He said, WTF? Who's in charge? Well, apparently Elon is kind of in charge, I guess, but he's leaving next month, so oh God, the incompetence of this administration, man. Like deeply unserious.
The United States is in charge.
It looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
We've been discussing a variety of
If you came here knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference?
Damn. So Trump just doing shit. Like Trump doing shit on his own. Like the people that's supposed to be like working in different parts of his administration, they just bootlickers. Like they just say, "Yes, sir, Trump. I do whatever the fuck you want me to do." Yes, sir. Yes, sir, Trump. Like that's all they is, man. They have no power. Like Trump thinks he's yeah. Trump thinks he has all the power. Right? These lackeys, man. Yep. This motherfucker found out that the tariffs were paused the same way we did on our phones. Yeah.
That as part of your testimony.
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the President, sir.
These were specific questions we asked you all along.
I don't discuss my conversations with the President, sir. Oh Lord, this motherfucker sounds so. This motherfucker, this guy here, man, he sounds so goddamn. He sounds so weak and sad. Oh, I didn't do nothing. I didn't do nothing, sir. I'm holding my mic. I didn't do nothing, sir. Jesus, man, it's rare you see a black man stand up to a white man like that, though. But hey, Even though that guy's a Democrat, but it is what it
What's
is.
the strategy? These are real consequences for the American people and small businesses. I had a group of small businesses in my office earlier today talking about the impacts of these tariffs on aluminum and steel. This is amateur hour, and it needs to stop. What does this even mean for your negotiating strategy? How are you in charge of negotiation if the president is tweeting about this from wherever the hell he is?
He golfing, man. Like that's where the fuck he at. He's golfing. He said from wherever the hell he is, he's golfing. So yeah, Trump turned on the tariffs, then all of a sudden turns them off. Like what in the fuck is going on around here, man? But anyway, I'm finna share my screen here. Uh, some NBC News. I'm finna play this video right here. Then I'm finna read it and break it down. Hold on. Sorry about that, guys. Let me see. Got so many tabs open. There you go. Sorry about that, y'all. There you go. Let me see. Start from the beginning.
Tonight, an abrupt reversal from President Trump on tariffs, sending stocks soaring.
I think it probably came together early this morning. It was written from the heart. We don't want to hurt countries that.
Man, my theory on this is that I think this is a tactic by Trump to intentionally put tariffs on these countries so that the stock market could tank and then they can get buybacks. So his robber baron buddies could get buybacks. That's my theory on that. Then then he said, I'm a positive. Then he goes back up like, oh God, it's kind of like that thing where like you're in a relationship with somebody or a friendship and they always play games like they say they're gonna do something, then they don't do it, then you be upset. That's how this is like. Yeah. Oh God! And then the craziest thing is this man didn't tell his trade representative, whoever the fuck that guy was, that he was pausing them. Like he didn't tell him before he tweeted it out. Like, oh God, man, 4 years of this, 4 years of me covering this, man. I said to myself, I said, I don't want to talk about Trump as much. I want to talk about like how to build shit, build community and strategize and but I mean like you kind of like your hands kind of force feed to talk about this shit. So all right, back to this shit. Jeez.
Don't need to be hurt, and they all want to negotiate.
At 1:18 p.m., the president posting he would pause virtually all of his new global tariffs for 90 days. Within minutes, Dow stock soared more than 2,000 points, closing up nearly 3,000. The president saying 75 countries that reached out to negotiate lower U.S. tariffs would be rewarded with that 3-month pause to work out individual trade deals. Their baseline tariff reduced to 10%.
They will be fair deals for everybody, but they weren't fair to the United States. They were sucking us dry, and you can't do that.
But the president also announcing imports from China would be slapped with an even higher 125% tariff after.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. All of the European countries, back down to 10%. But China, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, 125%. And then China took gloves off, man. But I'm gonna let it continue.
After China raised tariffs on American products from 34 to 84%. The president blasting China for retaliating instead of negotiating. NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer is in Beijing.
At this point, China's government has made it clear it's not interested in negotiation, saying they have both the will and abundant means to fight a trade war with the U.S.
Currently, American businesses sell just $143 billion worth of goods to China, while China sells $438 billion of products to the U.S., a record $295 billion.
So basically, like, all of our shit literally comes from China, based on that statistic they gave right there. And Oh God, so phones finna be over $1,000. Like, you know, that's a given right there, man. Cell phones, laptops, everything that's made, you know, made in China will be triple the price. Like we have to pay for that. God, man, man, oh man, tell you boy.
Trade deficit. The White House blames China's high tariffs and trade barriers on American products, saying Trump's new tariffs level that playing field.
China wants to make a deal. They just don't know how quite to go about it.
Meanwhile, the president's move came after prominent.
Yeah, he's delusional. He's ultra delusional. The reporter that was in Beijing said that China don't want to negotiate. This guy lies so much. It's like him and other politicians as well. It's not just Trump, but they lie so much they don't even know they're lying. Like bro, if China wanted to make a deal, they'd probably got in touch with you and said make a deal, dude. But they slapped 84% tariffs on our stuff. So I mean, on us. So because of you, buffoon, like we have to pay for brand new electronics gonna be quadrupling what they worth. Oh God.
Business leaders, including J.P. Morgan Chase CEO Jamie Dimon, warned the tariff turmoil could spark a recession.
I am going to defer to my economists at this point, but I think probably that's a likely outcome.
Tonight, Republicans praising the focus on China.
This is a big win for Trump, and it's a big win for America.
While Democrats blasted the president's sudden shifts.
This chaos seems to be just a game for Donald Trump, but it is really real, very real, for people's lives, people's livelihoods.
And Gary.
Yeah, shut up. The man cooked the Trump. So yeah, that's that. I'm finna read the article. Let me see. It says how Trump changed his mind on tariffs. It says, close that, make it a little bit bigger because, that's crazy. Even I got ad block on, I still see ads. Oh man, they don't get you a watch to get you a rinse. But anyway, it says Liberation Day just gave way to Catapultion Day. Donald Trump pulled back Wednesday on a series of harsh tariffs targeting friends and foes alike in a audacious bid to remake the global economic order. Trump's early afternoon announcement followed by a harrowing week in which Republican lawmakers and confidants privately warned him that the tariffs could wreck the economy. His old aides had quietly raised alarms about the financial markets before he suspended a tariff regime that he had unveiled with a flourish just 1 week earlier in the Rose Garden ceremony. So yeah, I told y'all behind the scenes, man. Like these motherfuckers, they said, Trump, like bro, like we're gonna be in a recession if you impose these tariffs on all of these countries, except for China, because China's it's the enemy to us. That's good. But other countries, oh yeah, also to China, most of our imports come from China, so it still will be kind of bad, what I mean. But let me continue. It says the stock market rose immediately after the about-face ending days of losses that have forced older Americans who've been sinking into their savings into 401ks to think about their retirement plans. Like this man was also gonna fuck with these people, fuck with these retirees' money, bro. Like a 401k is based in the stock market. Jesus Christ. It says ahead of Trump's announcement, some of his advisors have been in a near panic about the bond markets, according to a senior administration official. Interest rate on 10-year Treasury bonds have been rising, contrary to what normally happens when stock prices fall and investors seek safety in treasuries. The unusual dynamic meant that at the same time the tariffs could push up prices, people will be paying more to buy homes, pay off credit card debt because of higher interest rates. Businesses looking to expand will pay more for new loans. Yeah, I mean, already now we paying more as it is because of corporate greed, but these tariffs that Trump imposing will give these blood suckers more of a reason to jack up prices. And also too, prices will jack up anyway because Trump is um, deporting immigrants because immigrants build homes and pick out pick out pick vegetables and fruits and stuff like that. So yeah, man, like I mean, a recession, despite the tariffs or not, I think yeah, our economy is gonna be fucked. It's gonna be fucked even more. I mean, the economy is not great. See, the economy is great right now for the capitalists, the billionaire oligarchs, but for the poor people, yeah, ask a lot of people. Like ask Ty Peasant, aka Liz, for example. Like she'll tell you how the economy doing for her. Or other people on Twitter, that I know a lot of people who watch, on Twitter. Y'all know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people on Twitter always talk about their day-to-day lives, and it's not good. And this one comrade is homeless right now. So yeah, the economy is bad for the working class. Uh, Let me continue. It says two of Trump's most senior advisors, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, presented a united front Wednesday, urging him to suspend the tariffs in light of the bond market. The administration official said, "That's crazy, man. They must have promised Trump something. They say you have to talk to Trump like he's a little child. Like I better say, Trump, Trump, um, if these tariffs stand, like it'll probably say it hurt his image, which Trump loves a good image of himself. So, oh God, I'm gonna read a little bit more of this. It says in a social media post, Trump announced a 90-day pause that he said will use to negotiate deals with dozens of countries that have expressed openness to reversing trade terms that he contends exploit American business and workers. One exception is China. Of course, Trump upped the tariffs on the country's biggest geopolitical rival to 125%, part of a tit-for-tat escalation in an evolving trade war. Like, my thing is, if, you imposing tariffs on the biggest importer, our biggest importer, yeah, like a recession is imminent anyway. Oh, God. Along with the other stuff I just said earlier. It says Trump reversed course 1 week after he appeared in the Rose Garden and unveiled his plan to bring jobs back to the United States. That's a lie. Displaying a chart showing the new elevated tariffs that countries would face, Trump proclaimed, "My fellow Americans, this is Liberation Day." Yeah. Like, yeah, you had Ben Shapiro, like, rebuttal you on that. Like, wow. It was proved short-lived. Markets plunged in anticipation of heightened trade wars, wiping out trillions of dollars in wealth. Democrats seized on the issue, looking to undercut a source of Trump's popular appeal, the view that he can be trusted to steer the nation's economy. Um, Trump's Donald Trump's market crash has vaporized a whopping $104,000 from the average retirement account. Um, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer said Wednesday on Senate floor, hours before Trump's reversal. The episode laid bare the risk within Trump's team of senior advisors as White House struggled to offer a clear, consistent argument about the duration of the tariffs. While Bessent seemed open to negotiations, Peter Navarro, a senior trade advisor, appeared to take a more hardline posture. See, this is what it is about Trump. See, Trump thinks that by placing tariffs on shit, he thinks that it will make him look good because he's putting his foot down and forcing jobs back to the United States when it's the opposite. Like, first of all, like, blame NAFTA and the TPP for pushing jobs overseas in the first place. Those jobs are not coming back because those countries have benefiting from it. So, and then those countries are not going to pay for those tariffs that Trump imposed. So, So yeah, it means that we have to pay for that. So it makes you look bad, and I guess his advisors have to tell him, like, in layman's terms, like, this will make you look bad. And then people lost $104,000 out of their 401ks. Yeah. Man, if I lost $104,000, ooh, boy, Liberation Day my ass, boy. I'm telling you that. It says Elon Musk, the billionaire Tesla CEO, who has been advising Trump on the government workforce, called Navarro dumber than a sack of bricks, while Navarro described Musk as someone who's merely a car assembler in many cases. Oh, God. But the week-long drama has also underscored a parallel policy-making process that's often tied to the wishes and vagaries of one man, Trump. Acts about the dust-up between Musk and Navarro, Senator Lindsey Graham, a golf partner of Trump's, of course, right? That's all Trump do, golf. I don't think it matters. The only one who matters is Trump. It says markets tend to favor predictability, as do businesses leaders deciding where to build new plants. When Trump sets a course, however, there are no bound to be detours. A friend of his spoke to him in recent days, said Trump gave no sign he was about to back down quickly on this stuff. Well, apparently Trump did back down because, they had to tell him, like, hey, yo, this gonna make you look bad. You better stop. You better end this shit. Then he said 90 days. Bro, even I remember his first term when he imposed tariffs in China. Like, bro, I paid almost $800 for a washing machine, which I probably a few years prior to that I could have got one for $400. So I paid double. So I don't want to know how much a washing machine will cost now. I don't tend to buy the cheap shit. I want to buy shit that'll last me a while because, I buy me a cheap washing machine and lasts 2 years. Then I have to keep buying them. Like, that's what they want us to do. But at least, back then a good one would be about $400. Sometimes you get a good deal, like you buy a washer and dryer as a set for $400. Not anymore. Not thanks to Trump and these tariffs. So, yeah, man. I'm finna get to the next story, guys. All right, guys. Before I get to this next segment, be sure to like the video. It's free and don't cost you nothing. So, like the video. It helps us out a lot. And thank you guys for subscribing to us. We're not that far from 1,300 subscribers on YouTube, so that's big. Like, it's a lot of other channels y'all could go to, but y'all choose to subscribe to us. We put in the work. So thank you guys so much for that. So, all right, guys. So, China don't take no mess. Man, China said they ain't bullshit. See, China know that U.S. been bullshitting for a long time. Trying to escalate wars and shit with China. Like, if we went to war with China, China will whoop our ass. I'm just saying, they will literally whoop our ass. And then, according to Mike, Left Indy of the ATP nigger, he says our military is 75% capacity. You need at least about 90%, 95%, 75% capacity, and that's because of COVID. So, yeah. But not that type of war, trade war. So, yeah, I got a series of videos and an article for y'all to look at along with me. So here we go. Oh boy, this is wild.
Is China coming to the table or not?
Well, which table are you talking about? If they were coming into the ring to fight and take off the gloves and fight back, yes, they're going to be doing that. China has been fairly measured so far, and Xi Jinping essentially telling his government to remain calm until now. I think they had probably taken a little bit too many punches themselves. And finally, 34%, that takes effect on all U.S. goods imported into China on April 10th. So mid this week, there are a number of different export controls. They've added some defense companies to their so-called blacklist, the entity list. They are banning chicken imports from some American companies, sorghum from one American company. Also, again, those rare earths, further restrictions on the outflow of rare earths with China control.
Damn, son, chicken. You know black folk love chicken. And China said, nah, bruh. Nah. No chicken for you. Like, China is not bullshitting. Like, y'all heard what he said. China is not bullshitting. Like, China said, hey, you gonna put 125% tariffs on us? Well, on your people, then hell, we'll put another 84% on top of that. And fuck with the minerals. Jeez.
Controls a large swath of them for the tech supply chain. You know, Danny was just talking about Apple. That is a good example of how these Trump tariffs do affect American companies who, after the first trade war with China, diversified to the so-called China Plus One strategy, going, Apple in particular, making, iPhones and Macs and other products in India, in Thailand, in Indonesia, Vietnam, and of course, Taiwan, a huge part of the tech supply chain, all of them getting sizable tariffs from the Trump administration. So it's going to be a balancing act, obviously, for China as it tries to rebalance its economy to boost.
I told y'all, man. Hey, I told y'all. Like, yeah, Apple, yeah. I think of the iPhone, yep, man. Yeah, and you know what? My speculation is the reason why the iPhone 16E, I think, S, whatever the fuck they call it. I guess they budget phone. That's why it costs $600. When it used to be like 400. So yeah, like these tariffs are sure, like I told you, the cost passed down onto us, not to them. And yeah,
boost domestic consumption to take up its excess industrial overcapacity. You have to watch what the markets are going to do today, because the markets here in Hong Kong and in China onshore were on holiday on Friday. They didn't take the brunt like the U.S. markets did on Friday. And also you have to watch the yuan. The onshore yuan, the currency, essentially weakening to its lowest level since February. And that is one concern that they could potentially, and they haven't so far, they've kept the yuan stable, they could potentially weaponize the yuan and weaken the yuan further.
Okay, so that's that. I got another. Share my screen again. Let me see. This is from MSDNC. MSDNC. So here we go.
More now on the president's threat against China to impose an extra 50% tariff on goods imported into the U.S. if Beijing doesn't withdraw its 34% counter tariff. NBC's Janice Mackey-Frayer is in Beijing for us and has the latest on how China is reacting. Janice?
China responded to President Trump's threat of additional tariffs with defiance and its own threat of countermeasures to fight a trade war with the U.S. to the end. If President Trump goes through with what he has vowed, this additional 50% tariffs on all Chinese goods going into the U.S., that's 104% on anything consumers buy from China. Clothing, shoes, car parts, toys, tech, household goods, the list goes on. China is very...
And also, too, I just thought about it, like running shoes, because I'm a runner. I'm going to be paying about, what, $250 for shoes thanks to these tariffs? Like, See, this is shit I'm saying. And, I think China said, look, we let the U.S. talk all this shit, for the longest time. But since y'all got, like Kikabella said, the orange boogeyman think he being Mr. Tough Guy with these tariffs, we're going to impose our own tariffs and restrict resources. Oh, shit.
Very clear in saying it will not back down from imposing countermeasures to what officials here call U.S. blackmail. They see negotiation as legitimizing President Trump's trade blitz that is hitting manufacturing hubs right across Asia. Japan, Vietnam, Cambodia, South Korea, they are all signaling they want to negotiate with the U.S., though talks, it seems, are no guarantee of getting tariff relief. Here, a spokesperson for China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs confirmed there are no talks at any level between the U.S. and China over trade, saying, quote, the U.S. lacks a genuine willingness to engage in serious dialogue. Now, before the markets opened here today, the government unleashed a series of measures to help stabilize the stock market, including share buybacks by several state-owned companies. They're known here as China's national team, and that helped the markets close higher. The deadlines, though, are piling on now. All these back-to-back tariffs are set to take effect over the next 48 hours and threaten to disrupt trade, supply chains, and ultimately raise prices for U.S. consumers down the road. Janice McIntyre, NBC News.
I heard that. Like, this is why I'm playing these videos. Like, a lot of people don't understand what these tariffs would do. Like, you think shit high now, and trust me, it's high. You know, it's because of corporate greed, but these tariffs would get these corporations a bigger reason why to raise prices. And, you know, my other conspiracy theory is that, again, like Trump doing this to benefit his robber baron buddies. You know, because China, see, the other countries, yeah, like cars, you know, more cars come from there, some clothes, you know, stuff come from other countries that Trump did the 90-day pause on. But China, like everything we fucking own, I bet everything in this house almost comes from China. In my house right now. And now if I need something new, I'm going to have to pay quadruple the price. Like, yeah, so it's crazy.
Beijing.
Joining us now is Ned Price, a former senior State Department and CIA official. Ned, when China says it will fight to the end, what could that look like?
Well, Anna, it will look like nothing good for American businesses and consumers. We've already heard from your correspondent that with these tariffs set to go into effect, it could double prices of imported.
Quadruple prices, man. And also, too, before I let him continue, I just thought about something like small businesses will be heavily affected by this. You know, people say shop small. You know, shop small is good. You know, which is better. I prefer going to a small business, buying my goods and services rather than going to Walmart or Target. But like, because stuff is higher, which means the small business got to pay more for those goods, and they have to, you know, charge us more for that. So yeah, so small businesses might close down because of this, man. Like, this shit is wild. It's wild.
Goods from China. Look, Anna, there is no question that the playing field for American consumers and businesses needs to be leveled with China. But there is a smart way to do that, and then there is Trump's way of doing that. And I think it's important to distinguish those two precisely because of what we've heard from Beijing and frankly from Washington over the past week or so. Trump's approach has done nothing but embolden leaders in Beijing. He has really imposed these massive tariffs and a mistaken belief that tariffs are not a means to an end, in other words, leveling the playing field, but really an end unto themselves. And he's given Chinese leaders really no face-saving off-ramp. We often forget that leaders like Chinese President Xi Jinping, while may not be elected in the democratic sense, may not be worried about his next re-election, is worried about his legitimacy and legacy. And Donald Trump has really put him in a corner. And just as you said, as your correspondent said, they're girding for a fight. And ultimately a fight.
Yeah, of course, have to, throw in throw in the dictator-like mentality of cable news. Like, what else is new?
Between the U.S. and China on these points will only result in higher prices for American consumers, precisely the effect that Donald Trump says he was elected to counteract.
President Trump did post on Truth Social, quote, China also wants to make a deal badly, but they don't know how to get it started. We are waiting for their call. It will happen, he writes. Does China want a deal? Do you think they'll call President Trump?
Right now, there's no sign of that. And in fact, the entreaties for engagement have really been going in the other.
China knows that. China don't want to negotiate because they see the writing on the wall. They said this, I think a couple of months ago. They said, "Hey, we ready. United States ready to start some shit. Hey, we ready. We ready for y'all. So they ready for us, man. So I mean, this is the first step in, uh, yeah. Oh God, man, like this right here is it's gonna hurt so many people, man. I let it finish, but then I say what I gotta say.
Other direction. It has been the White House that has been quietly signaling for weeks now that they expect a summit meeting between President Trump and President Xi to happen in the coming months. On the other hand, we've heard quite the opposite from Beijing. We've heard whispers, and those who have engaged with Chinese leaders have told us that the Chinese are not interested in engaging until they see an off-ramp. And what President Trump has done, again, to paint President Xi into a corner without giving him any sort of face-saving way out of this, has really left China uninterested in dialogue, at least at this point.
Ned Price.
So yeah. So basically, like I guess China's president Xi Jinping is saying like, "Hey, bro, like you slap these tariffs on me without giving me giving me an ultimatum like on how to get out of this. So, until your ass realize you wrong, I'm not going to talk to you." That's basically what China's at. And I got one more article right here as well. This is, man, you talking about decimation? Like holy shit. Right here. Let's see. It says China just turned off U.S. supplies of minerals critical for defense and clean tech. Like, bro, like you turn off the minerals to help us for technology, bro. Like when I found this out, I like holy shit. But I'm gonna read it for more context. Let me see. I'm doing. There you go. It says in April 2025, while most of the world was clutching pearls over the trade war, tit for tat tariffs, China calmly walked over to the supply chain and yanked out a handful of critical boats. The boats made of dysprosium, tellurium, tungsten, iridium, and uranium, the elements that don't make hydrogens, but without which your electric car doesn't run. So yeah, and then Trump is making enemies with our allies that possibly have these elements. So yeah, electric cars are already expensive, but just China doing this, like a basic electric car probably gonna be what, 100K at this point. Like holy shit! Like this is what I'm talking about. Your fighter jet doesn't fly, and your solar panels go from clean energy marvels to overpriced roofing tiles. Damn. There are minerals that show up on obscene government risk registers right before wars. Start a clean tech projects, get quality canceled. Then it says, I've been on a bit of a critical minerals kick recently, starting to understand more about them and their roles in our economy. In addition to reading a lot of books and debunking some numerous nonsense on the subject, I have the privilege of spending 90 minutes with Gavin Mudd, the director of Critical Minerals Intelligence Center at the British Geological Survey. I'm not gonna read all that. Read this part. What China did wasn't a ban, at least not in the name. They called it export licensing. Sounds like something a trade lawyer might actually be excited about. But make no mistake, this is a surgical strike. They didn't they didn't need to say no. They just needed to say maybe later to the right set of paperwork. Basically saying Trump needs to stop acting like a fool, then we can get something done here. These licenses give Beijing control over not just where these minerals go, but how fast they go and what quantity into which politically convenient customers. So I got another scenario for y'all too as well. Um, let's say shit. Let's say Germany trades with China with these minerals, and United States need these minerals for your electric car to work or your solar panels to work, and you just go to Germany like, hey Germany, can we get those minerals? And Germany could charge whatever they want because hey, China said nah. China said the fuck with the United States with the minerals, and Germany said hey, you know, we could charge most the most highest price possible. See what I'm saying, man? Like all of this shit is because of incompetence. Oh God. Let me see. Read this right here. It said the minerals China just restricted aren't random. They're chosen with the precision of someone who's read U.S. product spec sheets and defense procedure orders. Start with dysprosium. If your electric motor needs a function at high temperatures, and they all do, then mostly it is using neo neodymium magnets doped with dysprosium. No dysprosium, no thermal stability, no function motor in your F-35 or your Mustang Mach-E. First of all, who drives a Mustang Mach-E? I don't know why they don't name an electric car Mustang. Like Mach-E sounds okay, but I guess to sell it. China controls essentially the entire supply of dysprosium. And no, there's no magical mine in Wyoming or Quebec waiting for the wings. If dysprosium doesn't come out of China, it doesn't come out at all. It's the spinal cord of electrification, and now China holding the vertebrae. So yeah. Again, again, like China will sell this to another country, and United States asked that country for it, and the country said, yeah, we're gonna charge you the highest price possible. Um, like, um, and I'll read this. Then there's tungsten, the metal that makes bullets bulletproof. Literally, tungsten is what you use when you need to cut, drill, or punch, or penetrate anything harder than stale marshmallow. The U.S. hasn't produced meaningful products of it since the Obama administration, and China sits on 80% of global production. Well, sure, you can try Vietnam or Portugal, but good luck getting these volumes at scale without waiting years and paying triple. Tungsten isn't just ammunition, it's the tiny vertical connections between layers of circuitry in semiconductor chip, CNC tool machines, and high performance alloys that go into everything from jet engines to deep drilling rigs. When China put tungsten behind a licensing wall, it wasn't targeting one sector, it was targeting the industrial base of specific big country that's trying to regrow precision manufacturing at scale. So yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because yeah, I get the point. Like basically, China said the materials that the United States needs to function to build shit. Yeah, we cutting all of that fucking shit off, bruh. Yeah, we cutting all of that shit off. And one more thing too that really, see, it really was got us in this was really started with the Clinton administration. Like, see, this is what happens when corporations are so greedy that they'll rather have shit built overseas instead of having shit manufactured here. Like, if we had stuff manufactured in the United States, like, we wouldn't rely on these countries. Like, you'll think that, hey, like, why you think China is the dominant leader in the world right now? In my opinion, it's getting close, but I mean, the way it looks like, hey, China owns like significant materials to run basically, cars to fucking rigs, the drill rigs that drill holes in the ground, like. And now that since Trump placed tariffs on every damn thing in China, China said we're gonna place some more tariffs on y'all, plus no access to our minerals. So the word fucked isn't hit no more. It gotta be another word to describe it. Like like fuck, we beyond fucked at this point, man. Like damn. Uh, all right, guys. On to the next segment. All right, guys. Before I get to this next segment, be sure to like the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, and it don't cost you nothing. So like the video. So anyway, And also thank you guys for, subscribing to us too as well. So this out of the AP. Al Sharpton is back in the news after the same Al Sharpton that took money from from Kamala Harris, the Harris campaign. Even though they say it went towards an organization, like he still took money, like, to give her prefab questions, like you're not gonna push back on her, like, but that's not about that. It's about this. It says Al Sharpton calls on PepsiCo to restore DEI initiatives, threatens boycott. Like, see, it's a difference between, I'm not. I hope a lot of people ain't gonna get angry when I say this. Like, the DEI stuff is overly rated, man. It's overrated. DEI is overrated because what I see, and I'm not sounding like a conservative, but like when you let a political party infiltrate DEI and use it for political gain, which what the Democrats are doing, because you didn't see all these boycotts for DEI during, you know, during the Biden administration. I mean, of course not, right? Because Democrats are pro DEI, which is bad. You know, now DEI isn't bad if it's implemented right. Like, for example, um, you know, this guy, this company has mostly white, engineers, and this black engineer, he probably have even more qualification than those white engineers. Then, then they had him, maybe a couple other dudes to join them. Like, okay, that's fine. Or but but if you use it, like as in a politics stance, man, nah, it don't go past me. I'm finna read this. It says, Reverend Al Sharpton is giving PepsiCo 3 weeks to meet with him or suffer a boycott. Wow. First of all, I didn't know Al Sharpton had power like that. I didn't know he had power like that. Like, damn, man. Damn, man. They'll meet with you in 3 weeks. Oh, God. It's funny to me. Like, this is a funny segment. Damn. Like, wow. Man. Man, I didn't know he had a cult following like that. Man, like, to force a boycott. To discuss reversing the company's recent moves to do away with this DEI initiatives, according to a letter with the Associated Press. It says on Friday, Al Sharpton wrote to PepsiCo CEO Ramon Laquata, expressing his profound disappointment that the company would end inclusion commitments that both help build his brand and foster trust with millions of its customers. I hate to say it. I mean, to be honest, Pepsi has done more harm than a benefit. But okay, yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You have walked away from equality. From equity, I mean. Shopton wrote in a letter, adding that removing DEI hiring and retention goals and dismantling community partnerships with minority organizations are clear signals that political pressure has outweighed principle. Shopton, founder and president of the National Action Network. Wow, that's such a good name, National Action. Oh God, I can't believe like Al Sharpton, one of them dudes, like he had a part in the civil rights movement for a little spell, but damn, like, boy, the Democrats got to him, boy. They man, they said when they talk bullshit, walk on. Announced in January that the civil rights organization will identify 2 companies in the next 90 days that will be boycotted for abandoning their DEI pledges. Well, my thing is this: is like the only reason why these companies went along with it because in 2020 we had the uprising with George Floyd, and I guess it woke these companies up to open up their hearts, and let's hire a Hispanic woman, in this big part of the company, or this black guy or this black woman, like, but in really all actuality they really didn't want to do it. You know what I mean? Like, so I mean, to me, like they show, like, to me, all these companies that are abandoning DEI, they showing their ass. Like, to me, and showing their ass like they never want to do in the first place. It's all about profit. Like, I think a reason why 2 out of these countries companies abandoning DEI is because because it ain't really benefiting nobody. Like, I mean, like, especially the United States, like, the country is what 70% white. So I mean boycotting Target, like, to be honest with you, like, you don't even see black people in Target like that. You see mostly white people. You see on Walmart, you see mostly black and Hispanic people in Walmart. Like, where I live at, basically. So yeah, like, that's why I said, like, just not up with the DEI stuff, man. Just not. If it's implemented properly, fine. But it says a spokesperson for PepsiCo said they had not received a letter and was unable to comment. PepsiCo wanted to blah 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 blah. We know that. Um, it says in a memo sent to employees in February, LaGuardia said the company will no longer set goals for minority representation for its managerial roles or supply base. It says since Donald Trump returned to the White House earlier this year, U.S. government agencies, companies, and schools have scrambled to evaluate policies and programs aimed at increasing diversity among its employees and reducing discrimination against members of minority groups, women, and the LGBTQ plus people. Trump ended DEI programs within the federal government and has warned schools to do the same or risk losing federal money. Well, I don't even know schools, to be honest, are doing DEI. Well, I guess he's talking about college and universities probably are, but like a public school, like bro, like a lot of these public schools are underfunded, and then if you pull money from them, they basically done. Ah, God. It says Trump ended DEI programs within the federal government and has one schools. Sorry, I read that. Large retailers like Walmart and Target have also phased out DEI initiatives since Trump took office. Yeah, and that's why you see that Target, especially, and Walmart to a certain extent, have been, people doing those little boycotts that last a day and all that stuff. Don't buy anything. Yeah, I know what that is. Let me see. Um, hate pop-ups. So yeah, I'm done with this, man. It's just about history and stuff like that. See, the purpose of DEI originally was to just basically keep a certain section or a certain race of people from getting everything. Like, basically it's supposed to, like, you know, if the person meets qualifications, like, and they're black or Hispanic or whatnot or Asian, like, they should, like, have a say or have a role. Same with government contractors. Like, say it's like for example, like a black contractor wants to work with federal government, like, they should have a fair shot at getting the contract along with the white counterparts. Like, that's what DEI supposed to be for. But I'm just gonna just keep this shit 100 about DEI, man. Like, it's just over. Like I said earlier, it's just overly stated. It's overly used, man. It's overused. I would say that it's overused, overrated. It's used for political points, it's used for politics, and it should be used for equal opportunity, but it's used for political gain. So yeah, y'all. On to the next story. All right, guys. Before I get to the next story, be sure to hit the like button. It's free and it don't cost you nothing. So, this article is from Mundo Weiss. It says Israel targeted my colleague in an airstrike, claiming that he was a Hamas fighter. Israel's lying. I mean, I mean, this is a news story, but I mean, yeah, this is what Israel has been doing forever. Like, their excuse for airstrikes is because they say Hamas is in those areas where they airstrike, which is a motherfucking lie. Like, Hamas is not in a hospital. Like, they're not in a mosque. They're not in a school. They're not, you know, like, I just don't, like, it's like people still believe this stuff, and it's just like, they lost beyond measure at this point. At first, like, if you really don't know what was going on, or you like me, you was a Christian, and you heard about Israel and Israel was chosen. You heard all that crap, you know. Then you get educated. Then you realize, yeah, Israel is apartheid. Israel is fake. Like Israel wants to wipe out generations of Palestinian people. Like, and you get it, but yeah, I'm gonna read some of this. This is from Tariq, so shout out to him. He says, last Monday, I saw several colleagues posted on social media that the Israeli army had bombed a journalist tent outside Nasser Hospital in Khan Yunus. The tent caught fire and burned several people alive. A terrifying video emerged showing a journalist named Ahmad Mansour sitting in a chair with his head and chest on fire. Yeah, I saw that. Um, I mean, I really hate, at first I was against like people showing people getting burned alive or babies' heads getting ripped off, and stuff like that. But a comrade of mine told the truth. She said like people need to see this stuff because you know us talking about it is different from actually seeing it. Which like you can't unsee that stuff, man. You can't. Like once you see it, you see it. It's in your brain forever. Yeah. But let me continue. Um, It says people tried to pull him away from the flames, but to no avail. He later succumbed to his wounds while in the ICU. Another journalist in the tent was my colleague Hassan, who I frequently rely upon for updates and gathering testimonies for my Mundo Weiss reports. So wow, people that work for Mundo Weiss are getting injured in unalives. Wow. Um, Hassan is usually the first to send me news, video footage, and interviews with people who have witnessed bombings in Gaza. Also too, yeah, I'm pretty sure Israel going after any like outlet that's against their bullshit, of course, right? But anyway, let me see. But this time Hassan was the news. He was also the direct target of the attack. So this is Hassan right here, guys. See, I forgot to mention that. The Israeli army declared in a statement on April 7th that the bombing had targeted Hassan, describing him as a Hamas terrorist, which he was a reporter. God, this that the bombing had targeted, yeah, and a part of the organization on wing, the um, Qassam Brigades in Khan Yunus, which was a lie. The army stated that Hassan operates under the disguise of a journalist and owns a press company, but is in fact a member of Hamas Kanye's brigade. My bad, guys. On October 7th, he infiltrated Israeli territory and participated in Hamas murderous massacre, which was a lie. The army stated, saying that Hassan had documented and uploaded the footage of looting, arson, and murder to social media, which was a lie. Like he was just posting images of people of rubble and people injuries and like just lies. Yeah, lying is okay. It's crazy. I grew up. My parents, my mom, my dad, my grandma said lying is bad, but these people because see they think they get away with this shit because the United States is funding their regime and trying to wipe out an entire generation of people. So yeah, that's the tweet right there. I don't want to. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want to read it. It says, y'all see it on your screen. Pause it if you need to. It says, her son survived the assassination attempt but was severely injured and lost 2 fingers. Jeez. The occupation is trying to obliterate the image of Palestinian journalists with these false claims that they belong to Hamas and other factions. Her son told me over the phone from Nasser Hospital, but it's hardly the first time that Israel accuses Palestinian civil society workers, journalists, paramedics, aid workers of being affiliated with Hamas or other armed factions in Gaza. Last month, Israel assassinated Al Jazeera Mashur correspondent and drop site news contributor Hassam Shabat, claiming that he was a Hamas operative. I'm just sick of these lies, man. Jeez, man. Okay, yeah. So anybody that was a journalist, you know, documenting the current genocide, you know, but saying but being pro-Palestine is a Hamas asset. Sounds familiar. Like anybody that said Russia, says one positive thing about Russia, we'll label as a Russian agent. Like, I don't like Putin. I don't like no world leaders. They're psychopaths. All these world leaders are psychopaths. I don't like world leaders. But if a world leader doing something positive for their country, I'm gonna talk about it. I'm gonna give him credit for it. You know, so for something like Cal Kalinske, you know, Cal Kalinske said that the radical left. Well, I'm paraphrasing. Like we always criticize the Democrat, but not the Republicans. But again, it's like, I mean, I criticize a Republican if it's need so. I'm not going to criticize a Republican just to satisfy you, bro. Like, and anyway, I'm not part of the Democratic Party, so of course I'm gonna criticize the Democratic Party because Democratic Party promised shit. Oh God, it's the same shit, you know. Um, let me see. The occupation. Let me see. Oh, shortly after the Israeli army killed 15 paramedics and rescue workers in Rafah, falsely claiming that at least 6 of the medics were Hamas militants. Lies. These are numerous other examples from 18 months of genocide. But during those 18 months, her son's whereabouts were always well known. From my experience working with him during this period, he was easily accessible via WhatsApp or phone call at all times, always based at journalist gathering joint points and never absent. Anyone with a passing knowledge of Hamas and how the Qassam brigades operate will instantly recognize how utterly incoherent these Israeli claims are. Now, I'll just say the Israeli army is lying their ass off. But Israel's counting on the people's ignorance and gullibility to believe that a dedicated journalist operates in the field 24/7, also moonlights as a Hamas fighter. Jesus Christ, man. So yeah, man, I'm ending it right there. Read it for yourself. It's on Mondo We site. It's on the top of it too, so y'all see it. So anyone that criticizes Hamas, I mean, not true. Anyone that criticizes Israel or reports the genocide happening, it's a Hamas agent. Wow. And it's still people on social media to this very day still think Israel has a right to defend itself. And you're like, I ain't talking to these people. Like, I always the one to say, hey, like a good faith actor, like on the right, that just don't know no better. Like, I'll talk to them. But if I know that somebody's bullshitting, like the people that think Israel is on the right side of history, they're on that bullshit. So I'm not gonna talk to them. So yeah, man. All right, guys, on to the final story. All right, guys. Final story. Be sure to hit the like button. It's free and don't cost you a damn thing. So like that video. So Karmelo Anthony, I should have talked about this a week ago, but I'm late. I'm always late to everything. That's probably why our views suffer, because there's so much shit happening in the news at one time. It's hard to cover everything. But I'm doing the best I can, so I'm talking about it now. But I'm pretty sure y'all know the details. Karmelo Anthony stabbed another guy at a track meet or something. A track meet at a high school, and apparently they well, this is from what I heard before I let this video play and let this other coonball token talk his bullshit. Apparently, they told him to move out of the tent. And high school events, you could, like, shout out to Town Business. He said this in his video. High school events, you could sit anywhere you want to, like, you ain't no assigned seating. So they told him that, and they threatened, and then the black guy, Karmelo Anthony, stabbed this guy, and now Karmelo Anthony faces a $1 million bond, which you pay 10% of that, so he gotta pay $100,000, and people set up I think a GoFundMe for his defense, and he raised $300,000. So that's the Andre version of it. But I'm gonna play this video, then I've got another video to play. So Here we go.
Now to Texas, where a father says he forgives the teen accused of fatally stabbing his son at a high school track meet. Police are now revealing what led to the terrifying moment. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii.
New details about the killing of Austin Metcalf, the student stabbed at a high school track meet near Dallas. According to the arrest affidavit, 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony has confessed to the killing, saying he was trying to protect himself.
He knew how much I loved him, how much I do for him, anything. I do anything for him.
Hunter Metcalf says he held his twin brother Austin as he was dying.
I tried to whip around as fast as I could, but I didn't see the stab. But then I look at my brother, and then I'm not going to talk about the rest. No.
It happened at the district championship meet in Frisco. Hunter says his brother had asked Karmelo to move his seat because he was sitting under the wrong tent. A witness says Karmelo replied, touch.
Okay, like I said earlier, I said that wrong tent. Like it don't matter what tent you in, bro. It's not assigned seating. You just didn't want that boy there because he probably didn't fit your aura or something. Like, yeah, like Karmelo Anthony had been provoked by this guy. I'm gonna have to say this for clarification reasons. Like, condolences to the family and his brother that was on here a second ago. I hate your twin brother got killed, but oh God, I hope I'm be a heart. I hope you don't unfollow me and cancel me for this, but actions have consequences. Like, why are you telling people? Why are you telling people where to go when it's not assigned seating? Now, if it was assigned seating, like you go to a basketball game or something like that, like an NBA game or something that's different. But this was an outside event that had tents everywhere. Like, if he was in your way, just go to another tent. Like, why you had to mess with this guy? And then also in Texas, what some of y'all don't know is Texas has stand your ground law. So Karmelo felt like he was threatened, and he did what he had to do. But let me continue. And guys, like, keep the comments a minimum. Like everybody got an opinion, and I'm not probably ain't gonna see it, but come on, man. Let's be real.
Touch me and see what happens. And when Austin grabbed him, Karmelo allegedly pulled a knife.
They asked him to move, and when Austin grabbed his backpack to move, take it, he stabbed him in the chest and killed him.
He's now charged with first-degree murder.
Just because the kid was mad, my son is not here anymore, and I don't understand it.
Austin is being remembered as
he probably bullied Karmelo. I mean, again, like, I'm sorry your son got killed like that, but again, it's like apparently he touched him. Like a witness said they heard Karmelo say, "Touch me and see what happens." So why you put your hands on that guy? He probably, if you just say, if he said move and he didn't touch him, it probably wouldn't got to hand-to-hand combat. But let me continue.
an honor student with aspirations to play college football. Despite the shocking loss, Austin's father says he chooses forgiveness over anger.
I forgive the other person because the forgiveness is not for him. The forgiveness is for me, so I can have peace. His life is destroyed.
That's interesting. Usually parents, understandably so, will have animosity for the guy who murked his son, but I speculate about that. I kind of do, but I'm gonna get my theory towards the end if I remember my brain. It's cooked. Autism cooks my brain, so it's almost done. I let it play out.
My life is destroyed.
The arrest affidavit says as Karmelo Anthony was being arrested, he asked if Austin was okay. Anthony is being held on $1 million bond.
Which, again, like I said, he had to pay 10% of that. Excuse me, guys. He had to pay 10% of that. So yeah, he probably out now. So I really do hope Karmelo gets a good defense attorney. I think he had a case because, according to the laws in Texas, he had the right to defend himself. I mean, this is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna stay I'm stay on top of this because this is important. You know, shout out to all the black people that stayed on code, you know, and donated some money. I donated some money to myself because my thing is like, why you touch Carmelo for? People heard you, like heard that guy that got murked, touch him. Like why you don't put your hands on people? Like I don't know. I don't think Carmelo would just stab anybody. I don't think he's that type of guy. It's just, you know, when you feel like your life is threatened, you have a right to defend yourself. Like, okay, but you know, like people say, oh, we need to go by the law. We need to go by the law. But you know, when it turns to a black person, like think like they change the narrative. Like, oh, he's a thug. He's a criminal. He does he that. But anyway, oh boy, this next video I got it's from Facebook. Like, wow, like my mama sent it to me through Messenger. But oh god, man, I tell you, boy, these people are crazy, man. This guy here, man, I never even heard of this guy before, but his name is David Harris Jr. Um, he is right here. This cornball looking son of a bitch. Boy, after this, boy, I'm pretty sure they had your Bojangle biscuits all buttered up with honey on them motherfuckers, man. They had them ready for your ass, boy. Like, good God, dog. Like, I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna try to keep my cool because YouTube be on that bull. So, here we go. Hope y'all can see this. I don't think it's a way I can make this bigger for some reason, but let me see. Try refreshing it again. Here we go.
And Austin Metcalf. Let me just say first and foremost that it's tragic that Austin is no longer here with us. It's tragic that a young man's life was taken from him. It's also tragic that it was taken at the hands of another young man. I failed to see the race issue in any of it when I first saw it, although I knew, just like George Floyd, I knew it was going to become a race issue. If race had anything to do with it.
No, David Harris Jr. No, it's not about race, dude. It's about respect and, you know, right to defend yourself. Like, according to multiple reports, people said, touch me, Karmelo said, touch me and see what happens. It's not about race. Like, you know, like, you right wingers, I'm pretty sure he's a right winger based on his rhetoric. Usually coons usually pander to the right because, you know, it's a grift, but I digress, you know. But it's not about race. Like, you making it about race. Nobody, it don't matter what color that Metcalf dude was. So like I just, let me continue. I'm telling y'all, man, I'm trying to hold back.
Then why was Karmelo even sitting underneath the tent of another school's track team? If race had something to do with it.
It don't matter. Wow. Like, it don't matter. It don't matter if you're sitting on another school's tent. It turns out that, like, you don't got to be assigned to different seating areas or tents. See what he trying to do? He trying to say that, Karmelo was sitting in the wrong team's tent when he should have been in his current team's tent. Like it's some kind of assigned seating or something. Like, give me a break. Give me a break. This guy, man. I'm trying to keep my cool.
Then why was he there? It wasn't his team. And why was he there with a knife? That's what I want to know. If race had something to do with this.
Apparently in Texas, you can carry knives and stuff like that, weapons, and you could defend yourself. Like, seriously, like, apparently you don't know law. Like, I don't even live in Texas, and I found this out from another guy because he lives there and he knows, stand your ground laws. So that's why he had a knife there. And, you know, my mama to her credit, she brought up something very like interesting. She said that who knows that Metcalf boy probably was fucking with Karmelo. Like something going on. 'Cause why his father, to me, like, tragically he lost his son. I have to say that, which, like, why he all of a sudden, like, his father knows something. I think, I'm not saying it's fact, but I think his father knows something. Something went on. Even my mama said it. Something went on with this, and it just got to that point. Yeah, like, okay, I guess a question is why would you bring a knife to a track meet, but something going on, man. Like a lot of people quiet, and you notice corporate media isn't talking about this like they used to. Same with the Luigi Mangione story, because the consensus is that something is going on, and it might be good. I wait a week for this to like for more of the facts come out, because usually when you um um share this stuff in its infancy, it tends, you tend to get stuff wrong. I try, as a commentator, you giving your opinion, but again, you want to try to get the facts right at the same time. So yeah, man, back to this coonball sucker.
Beforehand, why would Karmelo go put himself in that position by himself around a bunch of white kids if race had something to do with it? Maybe it was more of, I don't even know. I posed the question. It seems like he was raised with a good family, two-parent family, parents married for 17 years. They got to be going through hell. But why was Karmelo there? And why does it seem like, from reading the police report, he was so quick?
Carmelo was there because it was a track meet. The fuck? Why you ask why he was there? Oh, because because he ran track. Oh my God, this guy is so stupid.
To want to pull a knife, touch me, I dare you. Punch me, I dare you. He wasn't even supposed to be sitting there. You know what? I don't.
Wait. So wait. Let me get this straight. So you saying that he shouldn't have said nothing? He should have let Metcalf basically use physical force on him. Is that what you saying? Like maybe I'm getting it wrong, but this is what I'm getting from this guy. Like, why is he sitting there anyway? Why is he so quick to threaten him, then kill, then unalive him so quickly? Come on, man. Cut this shit out, bro.
I remember a time, especially to all you black folks out there that keep saying, oh, pull David's black. That's what you think about me. I really do. My identity's not in my skin color. If yours is, that's pretty shallow, because your skin color has.
Bro, to me, like, I don't look at race like that either. Like, but you, it seems like to me you have identity issues, dude. Like, from what I see, like, I don't know whether you haven't been accepted by black folks, so you decide to pander to the worst kind of white person, the white person says ignorant things about black people. I have to say it like that. Okay, but I'll let continue.
Very little to do with who you are as a person. But I do remember a time growing up where if we were pulled over by the police or we encountered anybody that was racist, it was be the bigger person, my dad would say, who's a big old 6'3", 250-pound black man. It was be the bigger person. Be willing to walk away.
Yeah, be the bigger person while they beat the living crap out of your ass. That's good advice. What a joke.
Way. Don't be the one to rush to violence, because you never know what's going to happen. Now, maybe Karmelo's dad had that conversation with him. Maybe he didn't. But it seems like he probably would have if he's a good father, and he seems like a good father, and it seems like a good family. Again, I don't know them.
But you kind of judging him, though. I don't know them, but it seemed like to me, if he was a good dad, he wouldn't tell him to, defend himself. What? Just say that. Never mind. This idiot here, man. I would say this, like, first of all, like, why are you bringing his dad into this? His dad had nothing to do with this. Like, see what he's doing? See what he doing? I know what he's trying to do right there. He's trying to say he lacked a father figure that told him the right things. Like, yeah, never mind. Let's continue.
But what on earth would possess a young man to take a knife to a track meet and sit under the tent of another team and just wait for them to say something to you? Even Karmelo's own words from the police report was, I told him not to touch me. I told him not to touch me. Okay, well, that's what he's saying.
I don't think Karmelo was waiting to start trouble. Austin Metcalf, the guy that got unalived, like he most likely started the situation. See, you're not asking he's not asking, he's talking all this shit, but he's not asking himself, did Austin say something to provoke Karmelo Anthony? Or did Austin did something in the past that, messed with Karmelo? But he ain't asking that. I guess he's saying that Karmelo is a thug, and he was just looking for trouble. He was in the wrong tent, which again, like it's a high school event. It don't matter which tent you in. Oh God, I'm sick of this crap. Like, he ain't the only one that said it. There's other people that say it too. But come on, man, give me a damn break.
And everybody reading it, all the black folks at least, are saying, see, it was self-defense. It was self-defense. Get out of here. That's what he's saying. And I wasn't there, but based on what's in the police report, several witnesses said.
None of us was there, but again, it's like, based on Karmelo Anthony, the guy was an honor student and all that shit. Like, I don't think he was a violent guy. It just, sometimes it comes to a point where you tell people to stop, then the last result is self-defense. Oh, God.
That he was asking, do it and see what happens. Touch me and see what happens. Punch me and see what happens. And then he pulls out a knife and stabs a young man in the chest. Are you freaking kidding me? Save the drama of this boy was a GPA superstar athlete and all these other things. If he was all those things, why the hell do you think he would take a knife to a track meet of another team and sit underneath their tent?
Again, you have to ask yourself though, why you getting angry for no reason? Like, why are you angry? I'm not even angry. Yeah, this guy, he haven't been accepted by black folks. That's his problem. He haven't been accepted. Like, I guess he didn't fit in with us, man. Then he decided to, he's just like Jason Whitlock and this guy. They're a lot alike. They like shitting on black folks anytime they get, like, but you gotta ask yourself, like, something happened for him. Like, he knew they gonna be there, like Austin gonna be there, and let me ask you something. According to the ABC News report, they said that Austin was gonna play football. If he was a football player, why is he at a track meet? You gotta ask yourself that. But Austin, he was a track. He ran track, so yeah. Like, I guess it don't matter. All athletes, usually athletes play multiple sports, but in high school. But again, it's like, and then you ask yourself again, like, he brought a knife, which meant some happened to him for him to bring a knife. So yeah. And according to Texas law, you have the right to defend yourself. Oh God. Here we go.
To me, that's looking for trouble. That's what that says. That's looking for trouble. And the knife, sounds to me, looks like he brought it with the intention of using it for some reason. Obviously, he did use it. And a young man is dead. And that family's torn apart. And all you black folks.
Well, the father instantly, forgave Karmelo Anthony, which is suspect. Like, if my thing is, if somebody did something to your family member, you will not ask for forgiveness right off. Like, it'll take forever for you to ask for forgiveness, rightfully so, because they unalive your family member. So it's just a lot of suspect things. And this guy, he just making it. He just basically, he ain't saying it, but he basically calling Karmelo a thug, which he's not. Oh God, man. See, people like this is doing the work for the ignorant white folks. Like, I just say ignorant white folks. Like, he doing the work for them. Like, they love guys like this. And I'm gonna look at his comment section after this. I'm pretty sure it's full of those ignorant people. But let it continue.
Out here that are jumping on the bandwagon. Why don't you stop and ask some of these questions that I just asked you? Why did he do it? Why did he go to another team's tent with a knife and then seemingly beg somebody, Austin, to touch him? And then why did he stab him? He wasn't being choked. Nothing I saw in the police report said he was being choked. He wasn't being pinned down. He wasn't being jumped on by 2 or 3 or 4 people. No.
Well, you ain't gotta be all that. If it's just between him and Austin, then my thing about that is, like, dude, police reports be fabricated all the time. We really still don't know what really. Well, we know that, Austin said, "Touch me, see what happened." But what did Austin do? Did he try to punch him? Did he try to, swing at him or what? Like, that's the part. Oh, jeez. So basically saying black folks that are on his side, we need to like stand back, stand down, And nobody is happy that Austin Metcalf got murdered. I mean, unalived. I'm not happy about that. I'm just saying, like, like, actions have consequences. Like, that's what I'm saying. Because you got to watch what you say. Seems like my internet trying to drop. Man, I thought I had good internet, but back to this, man.
This is nowhere similar to Rodney King or any other person that you want to try to make it out to be about. Oh, this is not George Floyd. This is not Kyle Rittenhouse, who literally had people with guns that were rioting and looting and tearing down the place and shooting people.
Bro, Kyle Rittenhouse brought a gun to a peaceful protest. What? People were not trying to shoot at Kyle Rittenhouse. They were chasing him down. I guess they were trying to stop him. I guess they thought he was going to be a terrorist or something. Like, see, he doing the work for the ignorant. That's what ignorant folk think. They think the Black Lives Matter protest was a bunch of barbaric people tearing up shit, looting everything. Like, the people that were looting, those were not protesters for George Floyd and Black Lives Matter. Those were just people. Those were just opportunists, which I really don't give a fuck, because these corporations rip us off. So hell, why the fuck not? I don't blame them. Well, y'all know what I mean, but doing the work for the ignorant white man. Of course.
And he was trying to protect the city, and they came at him with
protect the city. Man, get the fuck up out of here. Get the fuck up out of here. Protect the city. Man, that man ain't trying to protect no city. What, he was a cop or something? Cops don't even protect a city. They protect the property in the city. They don't protect the city. The fuck? Oh, God. People like this make black folk look bad, man. I just... He I wish there's a way he can turn his skin white. Then I'm pretty sure he'll be happy, because that's really what he wants to do. He's not happy in his skin, so he decided to take everything off on black folk, like especially a guy that's just trying to defend himself. I don't think Karmelo Anthony was going there expecting to unalive somebody, but I think that Metcalf dude, who knows, him and a few other people was messing with him. Who knows? So we don't know all the facts yet. That's why I said who knows, allegedly.
guns. Stop it with the Kyle Rittenhouse nonsense. This boy shouldn't have been underneath the tent. Should have said,
Anyway, what Karmelo got to do with this situation? That's two totally different situations. The fuck? I just thought about that. Come on, man.
Okay, this is not my team tent. Okay, I'll leave. Diffuse the situation. And even if he didn't do those two things, he still shouldn't have got to the point where he felt the need to take matters into his own hands, pull out a lethal weapon, and stab it in a young man's chest.
A lethal weapon. Oh my god. Damn, you'd think Karmelo had a damn AK-47 or something, or a MAC-10 or something. Come on, bro. He didn't.
No, I'm sorry. This doesn't have anything to do with race. This has to do with common sense, the lack thereof, and whatever the young man felt like he needed to try to prove. Well, he proved it. He proved that stupid can happen in an instant, and it can destroy more than your own life. It can destroy other people's lives too, and it can create chaos all over the airwaves where you got a whole bunch of people jumping on the bandwagon to defend a young man that acted stupidly. And that's all it is. He acted stupidly in the heat of the moment. It was a dumb thing to do. He shouldn't have done it. It shouldn't have happened. And the young man is gone. Austin's gone. And y'all are trying to defend the boy instead of asking some of these questions.
We are asking questions like, what made Karmelo, what provoked Karmelo to take actions into his own hands? You know, people saying that Karmelo should have, if Karmelo being picked with, he should have went to, administrators and whatever in the school, but maybe he did. We don't know. Like, the reason why black folks are behind Karmelo the way we are, and in this guy, it bruises his soul. It hurts his ego because his eyes, ignorant man good, black man bad. That's who he is. It's because like black folks have been, targets of racial epithets. Maybe it's a racial thing. Maybe they call Karmelo racial slurs. Like, we don't know, but generally speaking, like, it's a possibility. Like, common sense in a way. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody agrees that Karmelo shouldn't have done it. Like it's kind of the same thing with the Luigi did. Like, Luigi took matters to his own hands. Like, a CEO was murked because that CEO denies, because that CEO works for a company that denies a lot of claims. Same with this. It's like, he gave him lying to me. He gave him a warning, like, touch me and see what happens. Like, I'm pretty sure, I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure there's some video evidence of this. I don't think it's coming out yet. But if the video evidence shows that this guy was messing with Karmelo, then it makes you look stupid. See, I know evidence gonna come out. Like, it got, everybody got a cell phone. Everybody record everything. Everybody wants shit to be on social media. They want those likes, those clicks. So
Why don't you wake the hell up and ask some real tough questions and be willing to look at the facts regardless of skin color? That's what you should do.
well, you need to stop buck dancing and cooning for the ignorant man and start being rational. Cause you clearly lack any ration, dude. Like, he do this all the time. Like, like, if somebody white does something, does something, he's quiet as a mouse. But as soon as a black guy does something, or a black woman, oh, he's all on it. Oh, that guy is bad. Oh, he shouldn't have done that. Oh. I looked this guy's profile up. Like, that's all he does. And, the ignorant people are on Facebook, and they love it. So I'm finna look at the comments. And yeah, yeah. I'm I hope y'all can see this. I'm trying to make this bigger. Let me see. Yeah, there you go. There you go. I made it bigger. Oh. Let me see. Look at the comments. Sorry about that, guys. I hope y'all can see that. This guy says definitely self-defense. It's tragic that Karmelo was physically attacked. Now, this was a day ago, so apparently Karmelo has been attacked by possibly by Metcalf or who else. And this guy coming out like Karmelo, it's all Karmelo's fault. It's all Karmelo's fault. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. Wait till all the facts come out. I'm pretty sure this guy made this video as soon as he heard the news. He hurried up and clicked record. He knew he got those ignorant people waiting to like it and glamorify it. And I'm pretty sure Tim Pool, Charlie Kirk, all them crackers, man, talking about this. Oh, you heard what David Harris Jr. said? He's black, man. He's black. He called out his own race. That's siding with Carmelo Anthony. Oh God. And look at this person right here, Julie. He said, judging by pictures of this kid, see, knives are child's play compared to the guns he has in his hands. He's a thug. First of all, you ignorant ass motherfucker. Going by the way somebody looks don't make them a thug. Really, Julie, the thug is Donald Trump. The thug is Elon Musk. The thug is Bill Gates, Mark Zuckerberg. All these billionaires that rip you off. But the black guy that defends himself is the thug. Oh, he had dreads too, I guess. Oh, you have dreads. You're black. You're a thug in America, according to an ignorant ass person like that. So fuck her, man. Let me continue. Perfectly said, Miss Diane. She said, perfectly said. From day one, I don't give a fuck what color he is. He killed another human being, period. You don't glorify a murderer. Nobody's glorifying. First of all, if he was defending himself, he's not a murderer. I don't think Karmelo would go around to that event or any other event killing people. My thing is, if he was a murderer, he'll kill a whole lot of people, but it's a reason why he did what he did. Okay, so I guess this one is more rational. The other person showed theyself like, hey, he's black with dreads, he's a thug. Let me read a couple of more. I ain't gonna read all this shit. It's a lot of it. This person says, there's always people with dog pictures in their bios. The other pictures, at least they showed their face. David, you are 100%, and you are also incredibly brave to speak the truth against all those who try to come against you. I guess he's talking about people like me. That takes courage. You are a good person with integrity. Please. This one says, seems to me that Karmelo showed up with the intention of causing harm. My kids play school sports, and one thing you don't do is go hang out with the opposing team. Well, I mean that's your opinion. Like people, like what? People like opposing teams, like in the football games. Like I remember, it's rare, but we shake hands, so we do interact. After the game is over, so maybe that's what they were doing. Maybe Carmelo was talking. It's just the ignorance of these people. Just ignorant people on all platforms. It says that one ain't bad. Yeah. I think that's. Wait a minute. It says should be more comments. I'll look at a couple of more. Let me see. Just scroll through them. It says, I agree. I believe he went with intent. Maybe a dare. Maybe a gang initiation. I don't know. Something is out of sorts. Pictures of him are disturbing. Of course. He looks off. It's in his eyes. This investigation hopefully gives us answers. God. So yeah, he's a thug. He looked weird. He don't look like David. David look like man. He talk like a man. The way he looks don't mean shit. I look weird as hell, I'm, so a lot of people so ignorant that no matter how you look, they'll think David is a thug. That's just how ignorant people is. And I'm gonna be one more, man. Um, these questions, these comments ain't all that bad, but you know, this one person from Gene Simmons. It has nothing to do about race. This is about a child killing kid or killing another kid. If they are both the same race, it should be another tragedy. That's so true. And both families lost their son. Yeah, if Karmelo killed another black kid, I mean unalive another black kid, um, nobody would have gave a shit. David, well, they would talk about it because oh, black on black crime, man, it's bad. But anybody else wouldn't give a shit. It wouldn't even be on Fox News, but because David killed a white kid, I mean Carmelo killed a white kid, it's news. And if you notice, the news ain't talking about it no more. So that shows me something. Like more than they bringing out. They got some video evidence somewhere showing that Metcalf tried to harm Carmelo. Carmelo just took action to his own hands. So yeah, yeah, man. Like this part of the world, man, you gotta deal with ignorant people. I'm telling you, man. Like because the way he looks makes him a thug. It makes him part of a gang. He maybe some kind of gang initiation. Yeah, kill kill a white kid. It's a gang initiation. Like, social media, man. One thing about social media, though, you could be anonymous and say all kinds of the most violent shit you want and get away with it most of the time. And people like me that says the rational shit, I get suspended. That's just the way it goes. But all right, guys, that's the show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And white folks, if you're watching this, don't get offended. Like, if you're white and you not ignorant, like some people I know, like basically, judging people of color, you're cool. Like I got a lot of white friends, but I'm just like this just had to be said because by they judge people by the way they look. Like come on, man. Like I'm gonna say this because I gotta watch what I say. Unfortunately, like I hope um based on Texas law and stuff like that, I hope Carmelo gets a good defense attorney. So anyway, shameless plugs. Follow the ATP Network crew. We doing the damn thing, and I keep forgetting to add Damien. I will add him. He's still on the network. He just life changing stuff. Follow the ATP Network official Twitter account at ATP Network 247, and also too while you at it, like the video. Hope I didn't alienate y'all to not like the video. That's why I put this towards the end because I know this is highly controversial, and it had to be said. And it's good I waited because we got more of the facts come out. Now my since Mr. David says we need to ask questions, my thing is if he was like he part like why would Carmelo say touch me and see what happens? Like why would he say that? Why he didn't so apparently I don't think Carmelo just did the unaliving quickly. It had to take some provoking. So all right, I'm done. Thank you guys so much for watching the Good Faith Show on the ATP Network. And also too, if you're on Twitter, please, I recommend you guys please subscribe to the ATP Network YouTube or Rumble channel, because Twitter glitches up so bad sometimes, and now y'all don't even get the notification when I'm live. So I might leave Twitter in the future, so I can't solely rely on Twitter. And Liz, she Liz, she would get her blue check back, but she waiting to get 30K. So yeah, that's that. All right, guys. I'm Andre Boyd signing out. Have a good one. Oh, yeah. Fuck Benjamin Netanyahu.